Sitting here with Brandi Carlile for Lightning 100. I'm Justin
Hey.
Hamill. Hello, wonderful. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this. For real.
Couldn't be any more. My pleasure.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I wanted to talk to you a little bit. Last time you were in Nashville, you played T-Pack, and you were kind of telling a story about Elton John and meeting him, and he was asking you what you were into, like new music and stuff, and you're like, I don't really know. And so what did he do to kind of get you into some new music? Did he?
That really gave me a kickstart
Yeah.
into sort of exploring what's happening right now and to sort of valuing timelessness in my own generation,
Yeah.
which is something that's so important that we all do. You know, I think we tend to have a propensity towards believing that classic means vintage or timeless means vintage, and
Yeah.
so Elton doesn't believe that. So he sent me 100 CDs to my house, literally
Yeah.
100 CDs with little sticky notes, and I learned a couple of things.
He
about
made
it.
his own notes on him?
I don't know, but I don't
That's-
know.
That's crazy. Well, I wanted to bring that up because I know, speaking of new artists, this guy, Gregory Alan
Isaacoff, yeah.
I am in love with this record.
Yeah, me too. Which one?
Well, the new one.
The Northern Hemisphere?
Yes, the
Yeah.
empty Northern Hemisphere. Thank you.
Yeah.
It is a brilliant record. I heard him on E-Town for the first time.
Oh,
and
cool, yeah.
I was just like blown away, and I knew you did some background vocals, and I just didn't know, like, how'd you find him? Like, how did that all work?
I think I was playing at Chautauqua Auditorium in Colorado, which is a really cool venue.
Mm-hmm.
And I think our opener got sick, and so the radio station asked the local guy to come out, and my jaw just hit the floor. And that very first night I met him, we did 2 songs together on stage.
That's awesome.
And I fell in love with him. He recorded part of that record at my house, and we spent some time working on it. I'm a fan.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
I am too. I was really surprised. You have such a strong voice on your own, and I was like, how is this gonna work as a background vocal on some of the
I can be
tracks?
quiet.
Yeah.
I can shut my mouth and be quiet a little bit.
Please don't. It's always so good. Well, you also have the new record live at Benaroya.
Benaroya.
Benaroya Hall.
All the Southerners call it Benaroyal.
Yeah, that's kind of what Nashville. Come on, yeah. And that's why I was wondering, like, have you ever worked with the symphony before? Have you ever done anything like that? Like,
Yeah, I did. I started with the Seattle Symphony in 2008, and then I did Louisville, Kentucky, Cedar Falls, Iowa, Spokane. I did Indianapolis. I've played with a ton of symphonies because it's just I have a real special kinship to that orchestration.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily that I'm a classical music enthusiast as much as it is that the artists that inspired me always were heavily laden with orchestration, like Patsy Cline
Yeah.
and Roy Orbison, Queen, Elton John.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. No, personally, I'm anything with strings or horns, I am
Oh, yeah.
all about.
And then both of them together,
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
It's got to be just amazing to be a part of, though, on stage, is having, this simple song you probably wrote on your guitar, and then, like, they're interpreting it their own way, or do you write, the
Well, you have an
music for it,
arrangement
or-
made.
yeah, do you
like
make
a
the
string
arrangement, or-
arranger does the
Okay.
arrangements. Like
Yeah.
half of them were done by this guy named Sean McLaughlin
Yeah.
out of California. He does makes a lot of really great records. He works with a lot of cool, he works with Ben Folds all the time and Will Hogan, cool artists to make symphony arrangements. And he did half of our arrangements. And the other arranger, I hate that I always sound partial to the other arranger. They're both wonderful, but was the man that did the early Elton John records.
Okay.
Tumbleweed Connection, Madman Across the Water,
Wow.
Elton John.
Yeah.
Anyway, he did the other half of the arrangements. And so you show up with these charts and the symphony sight reads, and it's intense.
Yeah.
It is amazing.
That's what I was wondering. I didn't know if you actually wrote them or you got other people. And
No,
'cause
but
that
with
can
Sean,
be a process.
with Sean McLaughlin, the California guy,
Yeah.
he lets me get involved with
Yeah.
them. It's really fun, you know.
Yeah.
With Paul, there's just no getting involved.
Yeah. Okay.
Here,
He's just-
I'm severely
this is it.
underqualified. He won't be having it, not for 1 second.
Well, I guess I just have a little. I was going to talk about this Looking Out Foundation you started. Like, it seemed, I was reading about it, and it just seems amazing because you can kind of get behind almost anything you want to. Like,
Yeah.
you just, any cause that's out there that you're about, you can just go and put
Yeah.
this right behind it. It's
Right.
like, is that something that just you started personally and it was for you, and like you were just like, I want to get out there and help, or like?
Yeah, me and the twins, me
Yeah.
and my band,
Yeah.
the Twin Brothers. It started out as an environmental effort. At least it was funded that way. Like we really struggled internally with a commercial that we did for GM during the Olympics.
Mhm.
and ended up politely declining. But GM came back to us and asked us that if perhaps they were to switch the commercial from being about GM, just cars, to being about only environmentally sustainable vehicles, you know, would we then be interested? And there's something to be said for not preaching to the choir, for a message that's going to go out to people that wouldn't normally hear it. And so we got into that, and they let us help write the text. They chose cars, only environmentally sustainable cars, the Chevy Volt, the fuel cell engine, hydrogen engines. They showed footage of families plugging their electric cars into garages. Anyway, all the money that they gave us for that commercial, we donated to grassroots environmental organizations. And we started Looking Out Foundation as such. But then it became more of a humanitarian effort, and we just look out for our brothers and sisters in this world, and just try to be there where there's need.
Yeah. Well, it's a beautiful thing. It's inspiring to me, and I'm sure to a lot of other artists that are in the same position that you are, that may just not have realized that they could make that big of a difference in someone else's life. Like, that's
huge difference. It doesn't take much.
Yeah, I know.
Sometimes it's just showing up.
Yeah, it's actually just taking that step to get there. No.
Yeah.
Well, you're doing good things. Thanks
Thanks
you so much for stepping by and hanging out with us.
My pleasure. You're great to talk to.
Awesome. I haven't done this in years.
You're not rusty.
Yeah.